This is my American dream, right here. A Jersey girl in farmland of Jerseyville. This is my American dream. That, my friends, is sexy. And welcome to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment of anything you'd like to talk about because I am known to be a talker. I just got done filming some B-roll. Maybe more substance to the B-roll than some people might think. But there's something that is going around in our society, and it concerns me. And it concerns me because when I was a kid, it was me. It concerned an identity that I really relate to, and I want to talk about it today. We're not going to talk about really crafts or anything. This is really just a straight up talk. There won't be any cussing because I don't. But some of these matters could drive a Christian to cuss. You see, I like to work. I like to be in a work environment. My mother-in-law Irene had a painting business for as long as I can remember. I've known Irene since I was about 10 years old. And I always loved being around a business. And my ex-husband worked in that business and he did painting. I never shied away from a hard day's work. I worked for Target, as some of you may know, for 7 years, and I did what was called in-stock, which is one of the messiest jobs you could think of. Just think about when you went to Target next to the day after Christmas, what'd you see if you went back to the seasonal section? All of the merchandise was on the floor and picked through. And my managers would say, Tracy, all of this needs to look like a brand new section, like we just put a new planogram up in Target. And I thrived in that job. I loved that job because I could see the rewards that I reaped by my hard work. I never got out of that. I always loved hard work and working with my hands. When I met my husband, Kelvin, he had to put up a shed. It was one of those metal sheds, the kind of shed that's got 15,000 screws. It was a sheet metal shed, not a nice one. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice shed, but not fun to put together. And I helped him. I helped him build that shed so he can put some of his lawnmowers and lawn equipment in there when he bought his new little house. Wasn't married to him. I just really liked him and I wanted to help him get a job done because I like to work. And when I say I like to work, I like to do a lot of things, but I mostly like to do hard labor. I really like to get my hands dirty and build things. So when we got this farm, I thought, this is a paradise to me. It's a cathedral. Quite literally reminds me of a church. There's so much history in this barn that was built, I believe it was back into the 1930s, I believe. So much history that I was just thrilled. There's no words. So let's get back to what I was talking to you about that bothers me in our society today. For some of you who didn't know, I have multiple sclerosis. It's kind of a dampener on my work ethic because I can't take the heat. The heat's very bad for me. So I have to be out here when it's 39 degrees. And then I can do all the work I really want to do. Anyway, So in this day and age, if a girl like me was, say, 9 years old, 10 years old, playing football in the fields with the boys, not taking any garbage from anyone, a bully, really I was a bully. There were some people who had done me wrong, or I thought they'd done me wrong. Some of them did, but some of them I made mistakes, and I shouldn't have done what I did, which was push them around or give them a good smack in the jaw. I should not have done that, kids. No. When I was growing up, I was what they called a tomboy. I don't know, played football with the boys. Now, mind you, this is like 1978, so this is kind of way back there, because I'm going to be 50 in May. I hope I found that cheering kids voiceover to do there. Anyway, I was a tomboy, and I helped my grandfather turn over his garden every single winter in New Jersey. He would call up the stairs where my bedroom was. We lived in my grandfather's house. He raised us with my mom. And he'd say, Tracy, it's time to turn over the garden. And I'd say, okay, Grandpa. And I'd throw on some jeans and a flannel shirt, not different than what you see in me today. And I'd go down and I'd go outside in the freezing cold, and I would help my grandfather turn over his frozen garden. It was hard work, but he didn't have any grandsons, you see. He had 3 granddaughters, my 2 older sisters and myself. But he did have one tomboy. That's me. I love to work. I love to work with my hands. I love to get calluses on my hands. There was one time I had a friend who had lost his driver's license, and he was a Christian, a newborn Christian, or maybe an awakening Christian. And he was driving without a driver's license at the time. And after meeting him, I had expressed to him that that's really against the law, and he's kind of like he's breaking the rules, and it's probably not a Christian way of going about it until he gets his new license back. So what I do is I would drive with him to every single service call he did. And I did that for four or 5 months. Every morning, the crack of dawn, in his work truck, I drove that work truck. That work truck was no piece of cake. And it wasn't fun, but it was important because my friend got to not break the law while he earned his license back, and he could have a clear conscience, and so could I. To some of society, I would be quite the quandary. I would be confusing. And there are people like me, just like me. There are young girls just like me that are out there right now that are tough, that can even beat up a boy or two. We're just a different breed, a woman. We exist. I just don't want people to think that if a girl is born kind of like a tomboy, or wears her hair short, or drives a tractor trailer, or is a farmer, and likes to turn over some cow poop from time to time, and put her hands in the dirt to make a dream come true, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's anything other than a hard-working woman. We exist also. That's my main point of this video. That's it. They might look at this little girl who wears her hair in ratty ponytails, like I always did, one ponytail, nothing fancy, and really think that maybe we'd be doing her a favor by introducing her to something that's called transgenderism. That it's a thing, it's a medical condition. It could be body dysmorphia, I believe that's the term. It could be any number of definitions that I believe are in the dictionary now. And for some people, it's absolutely true. It happens. It's been medically found. It's scientific evidence that says that this exists. And sometimes things don't work out the way that they're supposed to. There's Blair White. She's on the internet. She's on YouTube. I actually follow both Blair White and Blair Black on YouTube because as a Christian, I want to know what's going on. I want to know how people think. Not just the people that I hang around with. I want to know what other people think. I want to know what other people feel. Because as a Christian, Jesus did not come to heal those without sickness. Jesus did not come to help people who didn't need any help. Jesus came to this world to help sinners like myself get right with his law and his word and his precious and blameless son. These parents or these faculty of schools or even legislatures might think that they're doing these young people a service. And to some, again, it's true, they are. It's very helpful. In fact, some people get these operations and they transition and it's the best decision they ever made and they are happier than they ever were before. But not everyone. There's going to be little kids like me, little girls out there that are going to be very into sports or even into football. I love football. I still watch my football with my husband. We have a big party coming up, a 3-person party on Sunday for the Super Bowl. But I'm not a boy born in a girl's body. I was a girl born in a girl's body. I just happen to be a very versatile girl in a girl's body. By the way, I love the color pink. I love Hello Kitty also. If you see my craft room, you'll see there's girl everywhere. That doesn't mean that I love all girl things. That means that I love the things I love. As you just saw before, I also love work. I love shoveling. I love cleaning out my barn. So I perfectly soon will be able to take home a BLM, a Bureau of Land Management, wild Mustang or two to our farm, because they've been displaced because of all of the different farming and the cattle that have now taken over the grasslands of our country. Maybe in a burrow. I think 2 Mustangs and a burrow would be the perfect mix. But we gotta go slow on that. So this is gonna be the home of the Mustangs. And we're gonna clean the rest of this up and we're gonna have a great time. And I'm gonna train it and I'm gonna gentle it myself. And I am going to have the best time of my life. But I'm not a guy. And I'm not a lesbian. I'm not bisexual. I'm not transgender. I'm heterosexual. I'm a woman. I was married 3 times. Prayerfully, my last time will be with my husband now, Kelvin. I listen to lots of other channels like Tim Pool, Timcast. I listen to him too. I listen to them and I listen to, who is that guy that's funny and does all that skits? Sometimes they go a little long, I'm just saying. Crowder. Louder with Crowder. He's funny, but a little long, So, just keep in mind this video. The LGBTQ, the non-binary, and every other human being is valid, completely valid. But so are heterosexual women and heterosexual men. We have nothing to apologize for. Remember that. America is America because of us all, not just a few. You're awesome. Have a great day.